Playland in Rye, New York is an amusement park owned by the Westchester County government. This 90-plus-year-old amusement park has a rich history, classic Art Deco architecture, and some extremely rare attractions. But has this theme park kept up with the times? Find out in this review of Rye Playland. Playland is located just outside the New York City metro area, and it's roughly 40 miles from Coney Island. Playland opened in 1928, and Frank Darling, the park's original architect, was a former manager of Coney Island. Darling, in tandem with architectural firm Walker & Gillette, made Playland the first fully planned and designed amusement park in America. Playland was designed to be a relaxing day out for families. Along with the amusement rides, the park was situated next to a beach with stunning views of Long Island Sound. It's a really nice location for an amusement park. This historic park is one of the few owned by a government, and Playland was named a National Historic Landmark in 1987. The government has done their best to maintain this nostalgic park, but they have struggled. Throughout the 2000s, Playland's attendance started to decline, and local taxpayers had to foot the bill. In 2018, Westchester County contracted Standard Amusements to operate the park. Westchester County still owns the park and will receive rent, but Standard Amusements is responsible for investing in new attractions and maintaining the park. Playland has an undeniable charm. I love the fountains and beautiful gardens that line the midway. They add a lot of color and contrast nicely with the flashy rides. And the Art Deco architecture feels like you're stepping back in time. Some of the buildings are in a little rough shape though, but I believe the new operators are planning on renovating these in the coming years. As of 2021, Playland doesn't really have a nice entrance. In fact, you just walk in the park. Thankfully, there is a plan to give this classic park the beautiful entrance they deserve in future seasons. Admission is free for Westchester residents. Non-residents can either pay for a $10 spectator pass or purchase a wristband. In the day and age when park admission is increasing year over year, Rye Playland's admission has actually decreased over the past decade. When I first visited this park in 2006 and 2007, wristbands were roughly $35 if I remember correctly. In 2021, wristbands for county and non-county residents cost just $20. That is a great deal for the amount of rides Playland offers. There's also a $10 parking fee as well. Playland is typically open late, and this park really comes alive at night with all the lighting. And if you visit on Friday nights, they'll often have a fireworks display. While this is a really nice display, especially for a park like this, just know it's understandably one of the park's busiest days if you're looking to ride a lot. Crowds are typically pretty manageable at Playland. On a busy day, the signature rides can garner waits around 30 minutes, while most flat rides will still be walk-ons. On quieter days, even the park's best rides will have minimal to no wait. The four most popular rides from experience are the Ye Olde Mill Dark Ride, Dragon Coaster, Superflight, and the Log Flume. And be careful trying to get in line for these rides near closing. Playland is one of those parks that closes lines early, so the final train goes out right at closing time. The operators make judgment calls when to close the queue lines, so if you want the last ride of the night on something, make sure you arrive early enough. Moving on to the ride lineup, Playland currently has 5 different roller coasters. The park's most iconic ride is the Dragon Coaster. This Frederick Church designed wood coaster is 90 plus years old. While the coaster is old and manually operated, it is shockingly smooth. The Morgan trains don't track as fast as the older ones, so the ride doesn't have much airtime nowadays. However, you can still get a good pop on the first drop in the back, and the beautiful Dragon Tunnel is always a treat to fly through. I have a separate review going into more detail, but this is an okay wooden roller coaster. The park's best steel coaster is a Zamperla Volare named Superflight. Most enthusiasts hate these Zamperla flying machines for their cage-like vehicles and roughness, but I've never had an issue. Maybe it's my height, but this ride never beats me up, so I can appreciate the sharp drops, forceful turns, and hang time-filled barrel rolls. Crazy Mouse is a Zamperla Wild Mouse, but has operated sporadically in recent years. If you see this one running, ride it immediately. The drops on this one fail to offer any airtime, but the hairpin turns have zero braking, so you experience some wicked laterals on this one. For kids, there are 2 kiddie coasters. Everyone can ride the Family Flyer, a Zamperla gravity coaster, but only kids can ride the classic kiddie coaster. This wood coaster circles around Kiddieland, and it's one of the most elusive credits out there. Enthusiasts are sometimes able to ride it though if they go during an enthusiast event, but it is impossible during normal operating hours. The park's best and most thrilling roller coaster unfortunately no longer operates. From 1928 through 1957, the Airplane Coaster delighted guests. Also designed by Frederick Church, this coaster was praised for its airtime and sharp turns. It was considerably more thrilling than the Dragon Coaster. However, this ride was very maintenance intensive and it was ultimately condemned in the 1950s. Playland could not afford the renovations to fix the ride, so it was demolished in 1957. But Standard Amusements revealed plans a few years ago to possibly rebuild this classic coaster, and a new and improved Airplane Coaster would be a very welcome addition to Ride Playland. It would give the park a superior signature coaster in my opinion. Playland still has a trio of dark rides. The best of the bunch is the Ye Olde Mill. This is a long, slow-moving tunnel of love. The ride is admittedly dull at points, as the ride is poorly paced with long gaps in between scenes. But the scenes when they do occur are decent and retro. And there's creepy atmospheric music that plays in the background. Just note that single riders are not permitted if you're visiting Ride Playland alone due to a tragic incident that occurred in the mid-2000s. Flying Witch and Zombie Castle are the two other dark rides. These ones are just a cut above a traveling carnival dark ride. These ones have flashy facades and loud jump scares. The visual quality is just okay, but there are some interesting audio cues towards the end of both rides that had me chuckling. For water rides, you have two. The Log Flume is my personal favorite attraction at the park. This Hopkins Log Flume has two solid drops and a layout that winds its way through misty caves. If you want something more soaking, you have the Playland Plunge Shoot the Chutes ride, which will drench you to the bone. Moving on to flat rides, Playland has a very underrated collection. The park includes both classics and modern-day thrillers. The most notable is the Derby Racer. One of only 3 of these high-speed carousels still remaining, this is a really neat attraction. You mount a horse with absolutely no restraints and hold on for dear life as the centripetal force tries to push you outwards. And along with those forces, the operators will jump on and off the platform while the ride is cycling. It's truly a marvel to see their skill. Playland also has a more traditional carousel. This historic Mangles creation has a nice pavilion and a wonderful band organ. This is a must for carousel lovers. Playland also has one of the best whips in the world. This one is run much faster, so the turns at the end are considerably more violent in the best way possible. Your vehicle is really slammed about, and it also has a long cycle. For modern flats, you have plenty of spinning rides scattered about, and 2 other rides I want to highlight. Doubleshaw is a fun S&S launch tower, and while it's small in size, the 2 launches deliver strong pops of ejector airtime at the top. Then Skyflyer is an inverting pendulum, and thanks to relatively loose restraints and the super slow rotational speed, you will get a boatload of hang time on each rotation. I seemed to levitate out of my seat for a few seconds at a time, and then the downward swing delivered some positive G's as well. Playland has removed some of their best flat rides over the years though. Most notably, there's Imperla Power Surge that would wildly flip guests, and then the fun indoor scrambler known as the Mind Scrambler. Playland also has kids covered with a large Kiddieland. It's one of the largest dedicated kids areas I've seen at an amusement park, as it features 21 different rides. Kids could spend hours here bouncing from ride to ride. Beyond the rides, you have the aforementioned beach and boardwalk for those hot summer days if you want a break from the hustle and bustle of the main park. As for food, I've never gotten anything to eat at Playland, but it looks like your typical fare food, plus a very popular Popeyes. A lot of people seem to bring picnics to this park. So do I recommend Playland? If you're a local, sure. This is a classic amusement park that feels like you're stepping back in time because of all the classic attractions and architecture. That's the same reason I strongly recommend this park to amusement park historians. I love this park's classic atmosphere and the unique ride lineup. If you're purely into coasters, I would probably prioritize the other parks in the Northeast because the park's current best coaster is just okay. Hopefully Standard Amusements can fix that going forwards because a new standout attraction would really elevate this park in my book. So those are my thoughts on Ride Playland, the government-owned theme park in New York. What are your thoughts on this amusement park? Have you been there? Let me know what you think about this classic place down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.